Hello and welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. My name is Chris Au and I'll be your host for today's show. Today's program is going to be a very inspiring one. We're going back in time to look at a very valuable video in which Dr. Anna Ouspenskaya interviewed our maestro, Giacomo Franci, and we talk about how he developed his orchestra, how he recorded with them, the kind of performances and the attitude and the mindset behind his orchestra. We'll also discuss the business of music, the business of art, and how to mix these things together so you can actually have a career. And all of this is to serve you musicians and young performers out there in giving you valuable insights into this music world that we live in. This is because it is our passion to be connecting musicians and audiences in real-time musical performances and live programs from around the globe. Hello and welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. This season of 2023-2024, we have a really exciting array of shows planned for you young musicians and performers out there. Leading up to that season, we are live every day at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time in order to promote ourselves, but also to tell you a little bit about our organization. We have been interviewing amazing musicians and guest judges. We have been talking a lot about social media, about a career in music, about klezmer flute we had yesterday. We are discussing the various parts of a music career so that you can have valuable insights. This is all to promote and also to give you an insight into the current season that's coming up. We have 4 different CARNEGIE Gala events. We have 4 different orchestras we are teaming up with in order to give you young musicians out there an opportunity to play with them and to play in prestigious venues in and around the world. It's really exciting, and we have an extended deadline of October 15th for the first gala. The first gala will be held in the middle of November. Our live auditions will be held at the end of October, and these live auditions are held on this platform so that you can be online and be broadcasted all around the world, but also not have to travel anywhere in particular. And today I have an amazing privilege of reviewing the valuable advice that judges gave to competitors at from Giacomo Franci to the audience from 2021. Anna Ouspenskaya interviewed Giacomo, and Giacomo Franci happens to be the maestro of the New York Chamber Players Orchestra, and this is an orchestra that is going to be playing at Carnegie Hall with soloists from around the world, prize winners, finalists and laureates who are invited to Carnegie Hall to perform. And you can submit your application at soundexpressivacompetition.com or progressivemusicians.com as well. This is really exciting, and I want to show you a clip of a trailer to introduce what we have this coming season. So as you can see, we have a really exciting season coming up. There are performances all around the world. That we have an organization in Czech Republic. We have the Cairo Opera Orchestra. We have Western New York Chamber Players. We have the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. There are just so many different organizations that are involved with us, and we're going to be highlighting the New York Chamber Players this broadcast. I want to tell you a little bit also about how this whole thing works. So you submit an application at soundinspireceivercompetition.com, and then we will tell you about how everything's going to happen. And I just got a note from James Welch, an incredible collaborator, that it's Giacomo Franci's birthday today. Oh, happy birthday, Giacomo. I didn't even know it was your birthday in planning the show, but it's amazing that it is. And hopefully we get to showcase not just your music, but also your valuable advice for competitors. Our competition is made up of live rounds online, so you can be at the comfort of your own home or in a venue that is suitable to you. And then we give in-venue, live in-person venue prizes. So you get to play in Carnegie Hall. The amazing thing also about the way our competition is run is when you do the live auditions, you play for judges who are also listening live. And so you get immediate feedback right after you play, and that is invaluable for so many reasons. One, which is that you get closure about your performance, but also what ends up happening is, especially if the judges are really inspired, you almost get a mini masterclass on what you did, the feedback on how you played, how you presented yourself. And these judges are very amazing musicians, renowned pedagogues, as well as performers who can give you really valuable insights in person as well as online and immediately. So that gives just a really amazing way for you to interact with judges, as well as to be able to get this feedback without having to wait a long period of time. And one of these judges is Giacomo Franci, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about him before we play a clip of his conducting. Maestro pianist Giacomo Franci is an artistic director and a conductor of the New York Chamber Players Orchestra, an organization he founded in 2004. Giacomo Franci is a world-renowned performer and interpreter of the music of Aaron Copland. He earned this highly coveted position based on the merits of his acclaimed world premiere recording, the complete edited piano works of Aaron Copland, a triple CD released by Phone Classics. In December 2010, his world premiere recording, Igor, the complete published piano works, was released on Phone Classics as well. Franci started his concert career in Italy with appearances at Teatro Comunale Guglielmi, as well as many other orchestras and theatres around Italy. He then became a pianist soloist in his own chamber orchestra, and he is a really amazing conductor who also plays as well as conducts, so a conductor pianist, and they were able to be broadcasted not only on our show in the last season, but we're also very happy to have them this coming season many times to promote you young performers out there. So without further ado, let's hear a clip of his conducting of the Fifth Symphony. Well, there you go. That's Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. You heard the second movement, then the first movement, little short excerpts. And it's incredible because in that same concert, and we'll play a little bit of that soon later on, you'll hear him playing and conducting Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 1. So there's this amazing way in which he's able to combine his skills as a conductor and as a pianist, and you're going to hear a lot about that. He talks about his journey in this clip that we're going to show coming up and how he came about conducting and doing a lot of this together. So let's have a look at this clip called Giacomo's Journey, and we're going to see how he got started on this whole thing from being a pianist who interpreted many works and recorded many albums to starting his own orchestra and becoming a conductor as well.
Ask you to briefly tell us how did you transition, maybe not transition, how did you add to your piano career, which is extensive and very busy? How did you go from pianist to conductor? And I want to first show an example of your conducting, of you on the podium. So from pianist to conductor. Hey, so that must have been a conductorless performance. You were conducting from the piano, right?
Yes.
So tell us about your path to the podium.
Ah, so myself, I built my career through recordings. My career is not coming from competitions. So now I'm a judge of competition, and I'm glad. So I'm not the only one, by the way. There are very illustrious names that they didn't win half a competition. So anyway, I studied conducting as a by accident, I would say. I was in Italy and I was not doing much there when I was younger and when I was in my 20s. So I say, oh, let's study conducting. And then I had this desire, of course, to soloing with orchestras. And I contacted the conductor. I said, why you don't form an orchestra? So can solo with this. Actually, I wanted to solo with the same piano concerto that the Beethoven first piano concerto. And his conductor say, no, it's too much work, I don't want to do it. So then I say, okay, why I don't do it then? Because I studied conducting, so I will do it. So that's how we started the story. So then I formed the New York Chamber Players. That's how.
Amazing.
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 That's how it was in 2004. Yes.
So being open-minded and
no,
asking yourself a question: why not do it? Why I have my expertise, I have my time. I'm going to do something good with it. That's very
right,
encouraging.
that's
That's
what I would say.
your signature.
Yeah, I thought to do it, and actually I was very intimidated in the beginning because sometimes you get to play in duo, and there are some things you don't agree with. I say, well, how can I do that? And I got some people around that they encouraged me to do it. So it was not all me. I got some signs from some kind of energy signs from people that say, why you don't do that? I say, okay, I'll do it. So
Giacomo talks a lot about how he started conducting by accident almost. Like he wanted to form an orchestra to play concerto, but the conductor he contacted actually said, you know what, I don't have time, I don't know how this would happen. And so he did it and started it himself, which is really incredible. And he was also supported by a big community who supported and asked him why didn't he do it as well. So you can see that in forming your own orchestra, it's not as simple as being handed it on a silver platter, but it's something where you see there's a need, or you see that there's a huge desire from yourself or from others to have this thing happen. And he decided that he would form it in New York, this chamber players orchestra, and to give opportunities for young musicians to perform. And speaking of that, we have an incredible season coming up where you get to play with Giacomo Franci as conductor with his New York Chamber Players Orchestra. And this is a really rare opportunity because not only are you playing with the orchestra, but you're playing in Carnegie Hall. And this is the orchestra, as you can see on screen now. And you get to be conducted. And what comes with the package of actually working with Giacomo is you get to play to him online. You get a meeting with him online on our platform, so you can play and he can conduct, and you can see where the timings are. So you meet with him once, then you get 2 rehearsals with him in person, and then you get to perform live. And so there's a lot of support there from us, but also from Giacomo, and his time and his valuable insight will be present during a lot of this. So I strongly encourage you to apply. There's an extended deadline to October 15th. And if you go to our website, soundespressivocompetition.com, you will see this and you will see what's unavailable. And you get to submit certain concerti in order to be performed live. I want to show you our next one, which he talks a bit about building community and how community is a really strong part of being a successful musician. And with this online platform that we have and social media and all of these things, it's becoming somewhat easier to form a community where these people are able to support you, see your journey, and support certain projects you have online. So I hope you enjoy this clip that we're going to show you about that.
And that's another message which we want to send to the future applicants to the competition. The judges on the panel here, like Giacomo Franci, are people who had the experience of building their career through particular steps, through particular attitudes, building a community. This is another very important part of becoming a successful musician and developing the artistry and developing the business side of it.
And so that's a really critical part of not only the music part of it. You want an audience and you want a community that loves your music and wants to come to your concerts. But it's also an invaluable way in building community that by that time, you build this community and they can support you perhaps financially as well in the projects because they see the vision that you have. And forming an orchestra is definitely not cheap. So when we get the chance to interview Giacomo again, I'd love to ask him about the financial and business side of things and how to not only build a career, but also fund an orchestra with many different players who will come together, spend time rehearsing and draw an audience performing music. And you saw the effects of what he was able to do, which is this amazing Beethoven Fifth Symphony, and also play and conduct the first piano concerto by Beethoven. And so we have a lot of that coming up soon. Last season, he was performing the Bach, one of Bach's keyboard concerti with his orchestra as well, with him at the keyboard. So I just can't wait to see what he has coming up this year. The next clip I want to show you is a slightly longer one, but he talks about how to build a career. And it's really valuable. There's certain insights that I'll share in summary, and then he'll expand upon them. And one of which is what's happening when you play an instrument. What's the kind of thing you want to say? And so in building a career, it's really important to understand that beyond the skill and craftsmanship of playing an instrument, it's also about what you want to say. And that comes out as your personality. And these days, it's more and more important to develop that so that people can see what's special about going to one of your live performances as opposed to just listening to a recording online or on a CD or on an LP player. So let's have a look at this clip and we'll discuss that afterwards.
Young talented musicians are not able to sustain the pressure and the challenges of being a musician in current environment. Tell me, please, what attitudes you think are the most essential to developing one into a great musician and to building a career in the field?
Well, there are two main aspects of this, I think. One is artistic, one is the business side of it. Let's start with the artistic one. I think that beside the amount of talent that I see also every year in my competition that I do with the New York Chamber Players, we got to the 11th year now of the New York Chamber Players Concerto competition, and these kids, I call them kids, I should call them prodigies, are having a incredible talent. So there is a problem about that, or two. But anyway, the thing is, the technical level is very high, artistic level also. But of course, these kids they have to grow up, and when they are grow up, they have to find why they are playing their instrument. Means what's the purpose? What's the message? What is that? It's all great artists nowadays and in the past, they have a message to give. They feel something to say. This doesn't mean they respect exactly what the composer does. But for example, if I say two great legendary pianists like Michelangelo or Horowitz, they play the same music but very differently because it reflects their personality. So that's where is the personality. This is the artistic aspect. This aspect is the kids are too caught up in the academies. So the academy prepare them at their best technically, but then they don't develop a business attitude to the career, developing repertoire which come from recordings or attending many competitions, which doesn't mean win the competition. Yeah, if you win, it is better, of course. But
of course,
it's developing a repertoire in that you don't play 2-3 programs, so you play 20, 30 programs, 40, like a professional artists in career. So they seem to miss these aspects of not treating music as a business, basically, but as something different. It's a strange business, but it's a business too. So that I think that and the most confused people in this are the parents, because the parents, they are caught up with the teacher of the kids. The teacher are not giving enough information for convenience, who knows for what. But this
exactly.
called business, if we,
Yeah, this is a very important topic you raised. The expansion of the repertoire and the business side, even while learning, even while developing as artists, that those aspects need to be clearly communicated. And for instance, I want to bring an example. Performing more modern music. A lot of times students are caught up in a very narrow slice of the classical music, and they think that's old music.
What you can see from that clip is in building a career, it's really important to know how to develop it. And Giacomo's approach to it is actually how to develop repertoire-wise. And that's not usually addressed as much because it's assumed that you know all the repertoire or you can learn all the repertoire. But his perspective, because as coming from a pianist, and as a pianist, it's really difficult to learn all the repertoire because there's so much of it. But you can see in his career, he developed a slice of music which he can specialize in, that he knew there was a niche in, which was the music of Aaron Copland, and a great American composer. Then he decided to go to record all the music of Igor Stravinsky, the piano music of that. And now he's working on the complete Beethoven piano sonatas, which is a staple bread and butter of the piano repertoire. But he went at it in a way that makes him not only a specialist in that particular composer's oeuvre of work, but also he made himself distinguishable in that he wasn't just a different array of different music and different choices. He just selected one composer and focused on it very well. This is really, really amazing. So with that, developing repertoire, and as Dr. Anna in the video also mentioned, developing repertoire in terms of new music, in terms of lesser known composers. In this way, you not only bring to light certain voices that may have not been heard as often, but also you are able to find music that is different and to distinguish yourself and to develop your repertoire so people can have a way to expect what to hear when they hear you live. And so I really appreciate this in the sense that they are treating music not just as an art, but as a business, how to distinguish yourself, how to develop a side of your career and your craftsmanship and your artistry that can be known to other people. This last clip I'm going to show you is about his career as a recording artist, and this develops more about what he's going to do and what he's been doing since the early 2000s. So enjoy.
Right.
Big career as a recording artist, and I want to bring one of the examples of your complete CD, complete works, edited works by Copland. Now you're an Italian pianist. You expanded your own repertoire, and I'm sure that had a big impact on your career as well, right?
Yes, that was the first big recording that I have done, because it's in 3 CDs, is the complete piano works by Aaron Copland. And the CEO of Phoné, the record company in Italy, he told me that you are in America, what do you think you want to do an American composer? And I thought about Charles Ives or Aaron Copland. Aaron Copland was resonating better with me.
Yeah.
And
So being
I thought he wanted to do only
open-minded.
one. Yeah, only one recording. Instead, he say no, do the whole piano works, and so I did
Complete. That's fabulous
three
project.
CDs.
Fabulous project.
Yeah.
Let's
And
hear a
what
little.
happened is,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, he went out of print, so There has been some copies sold for over $400, stuff like that.
Oh wow! So it's a rarity now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can afford the $400 copy, but let's hear a little bit
No,
of the of that set.
Stunning playing there from Giacomo Franci. As you can see, both a pianist and a conductor. We highlighted him this broadcast because we want to show you what you're in for. And Giacomo Franci, and as well as the New York Chamber Players Orchestra, are available to you, contestants and competitors and young musicians, if you want to perform at Carnegie Hall this coming season. We have 4 different amazing dates, and as you can hear and see, Giacomo Franci is no stranger to the music of Copland, Stravinsky, Beethoven, all the great composers out there, as well as new music, and he regularly conducts new music as well. And so this is a chance for you to highlight and showcase your talents, to showcase your different musical backgrounds. Our coming season shows 4 different types of orchestras as well. We are having many collaborations with orchestras from around the world, especially an orchestra in the Czech Republic as well as in Egypt. We also have the Western New York Chamber Players. We also have, as we mentioned, the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. We present new music by living composers as well. There is a call for scores. If you're a composer out there, we would love to have your scores. You submit your score and we will decide which ones will get to be performed in Carnegie Hall by young performers. You get to meet these young performers who play your works in our live auditions at the end of October. And that's really coming up very soon. So we have a big season ahead, and would love for you to join us because there's so many things going on which are really exciting. We put on full program concerts, especially in Carnegie Hall. We want to fill up the space, fill up the music, fill up the program so that you can perform and have your recording at Carnegie Hall. So if you're a contestant who wins a prize within the Carnegie Hall series that we have, you get your performance, you get headshots, you also get different interviews with legendary broadcaster Steve Robinson. You get the behind the scenes, and we'll get your photos done as well. So it's a really inclusive and holistic way to experience not only New York and also Carnegie Hall itself. This is a really rare opportunity, and we would love for you to join us. I'm going to show you a real clip about to promote our 2023 season and to share a little bit more about what to expect. Hey, check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall, so I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply. Well, what are you waiting for? Make sure you send in your application soon. We have an extended deadline of October 15th. And just to summarize our show today, we highlighted Giacomo Franci, the maestro piano conductor of the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. And to summarize what we had today, we talked about how to form your own orchestra. And for him, it was an accident, but it was also a way for him to highlight orchestral symphonic pieces that he adored, and also to perform with an orchestra as a soloist. So this sort of entrepreneurial spirit in which he was able to spearhead this movement to have his orchestra is really inspiring. We talked about how forming a community is extremely important to being a successful musician, not only to curate and to nurture your audience, but also to get perhaps some help financially and sponsorships with this community. And Sound Espressivo is another great example of us developing a community of not just guest artists, but also performers who regularly come back and engage with us. We also talk a lot about Giacomo Franci's relationship with the business of music, and how students and competitors these days need to understand that music, apart from being a craft to nurture in the practice room, also needs to be something to be nurtured in the world out there. And that is not only to develop the repertoire side of it, but also to have a business attitude towards their career, how to develop it and treat it as a business at times, and also as an art at times. And that could be whether you're recording, forming a recording career, or doing all that, or to form your own orchestra as Giacomo has done, or to enter into academia and to work on certain relationships to build that, or to do whatever you need to have your voice and to be heard. And speaking of being heard, we have an incredible array of performances lined up with a season that is really incredible. So I really strongly encourage everybody to apply. We have shows on at 12 noon every day, Eastern Standard Time, and this is to promote not only our upcoming season, but also to give a chance for musical artists as well as judges to speak to competitors and young musicians. So we look forward to having you back very soon, and until then, take care. We also want to give a big thanks to our collaborators and supporters out there. These are incredible people who have a personal relationship with us, but also support everything that we do. And these people have been there since the very beginning, from our classical history of music, Colburn School. We've been having them since the very beginning, in the first rendition of the Sound Espressivo competition. So we thank you for your loyalty and to continue being with us. We also want to give a big thanks to the team who supports everything we do, from the website to all the applications, to this show, to the behind the scenes, to all the social media and the scripts and everything that you see behind the scenes to make this a really fantastic production. And with that, you can view us on all the social media platforms, and we look forward to seeing you there, as well as on our website. Send in your application soon. We look forward to having you there, and until next time, see you soon.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.